I'm from Michigan, grew up driving in these conditions, but I'm not going to be so arrogant to think that me and my truck can do it.
Yeah, you can't, because ice, all it takes is just a little bit here. That's why we've been warning everybody. In fact, we've been telling you, people across Northeast Georgia, all of us are bracing for the winter storm. This is something we haven't seen potentially in a decade.
Yeah, and we know because of all that ice, it's just so heavy, it has the potential to bring down trees, especially those old ones, power lines especially, and that could leave people in the dark at least for a couple days.
It could be. Let's check in with our Chase Howell, who is in downtown Cleveland, which is over in White County.
All right, Chase, you got some new guidance from the county EMA there on how the state is stepping in to help the area. What are they telling you right now?
Aisha, Jonathan, it just goes back to what you guys were just talking about with Dan, how the state is helping out counties up here in the north. So I want to get this out, and I want people to have time to grab a pen and paper, grab your phone, shoot off a text, because this is important information for those that may need help. So what's happening right now is the gym at the White County Parks and Recreation Center is now an emergency shelter. So again, that's the White County Parks and Recreation Center. It is now an emergency shelter. So anyone who needs to go there, go ahead and go. That's going to be at, here's that address, so make sure you write this down, type it in your phone, or shoot off that text. It's 327 Asbestos Road. Again, that is 327 Asbestos Road, where you can find an emergency shelter, which is at that White County Parks and Recreation Center. Now, they are asking people to pre-register on the county website, but if you don't have internet access, you can call 706-865-9800. Again, that phone number, again, if you don't have internet access to go into the county website, that phone number is 706-865-9800. Now, what you'll find at those emergency centers are actually 20 cases of MREs for those that are staying in those emergency shelters, all provided by the state, including a pallet of water. Now, also, you guys mentioned nursing homes earlier with Dan. So 2 nursing homes south of the county have received emergency power and heat from the state. They're also, the public safety building will also be receiving a Starlink, which, if you don't know what a Starlink is, it essentially talks to satellites, and that's going to be a last case scenario if all their internet access goes away, the generators fail, they lose power. So they'll have that Starlink that's going to beam up to the satellites so they can get those 911 calls through to make sure anyone that's having an emergency can be responded to. But I want to go back to this emergency shelter at the White County Parks and Recreation Center. If you haven't taken out your pen and paper, if you haven't taken off your phone, do so now. That address is going to be 327 Asbestos Road. 327 Asbestos is spelled ASBESTOS Road. And they're asking people, again, to pre-register if you on the county's website, but if you don't have internet access, you can call 706-865-9800. Again, that's 706-865-9800. And there you will be fed with a bunch of MREs from the state, and there is a pallet of water there as well. So you guys, I wanted to get that information out as soon as I can, because that's important for those watching us here on 11 Alive Plus to know, because we all know this storm system that's moving through, and at the accumulation of ice, we could see power lines down, widespread outages across the county here. So it's going to get cold, and it's going to get cold fast. So if you are not prepared, if you don't have the means to be prepared, they have that emergency shelter, again, at the White County Parks and Recreation Center.
All right, our Chase Howell joining us live there with some updated information. Always good to know the resources available before you end up needing them. So Chase, thanks for that information.